Give you this.
So I'll wait for the the question before I go into it too much. But I picked up Blossom Tales yesterday because I had some extra eShop credit. That game is super good. I'm really happy I checked that out because I was gonna wait for Celeste, and then that was $20. Blossom Tales was 15, so I figured I'd just do that instead and get Celeste later. But
that's the Zelda one, right?
Yeah, I think you talked about it actually.
Yeah, I just mentioned that it's on the Switch now. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't played it. I've been playing. I've only played 30 minutes of a game that's kind of like a Zelda.
Like that's the only thing you played all week?
Well, Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Of course. But of course.
I'm trying to get through that DLC. It's just slow on my own.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of wrestling while playing Destiny. And I think I've probably watched more wrestling than I've played games this week.
Well, just so you know, Blossom Tales is on Steam.
Yeah, came out
I thought it
last
was
year.
because a lot of these things that are coming out on Switch that are like getting a lot of publicity now came out, a year or more ago on PC. But it's a really cute little like kind of. It's not a spoof, but it's like a humorous take on like a Zelda.
It's like a homage
adventure
kind of thing.
Almost like an homage to her, kind of like a love letter in sort of a way. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
I definitely.
cute.
Yeah. This is totally. This looks awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
$15.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll talk about it more because it's like my favorite thing right now. But I just want to let you know because I didn't remember when it came out, but I thought it came out on PC first.
All right.
Cool.
And Celeste is also on Steam. So.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around and talk about not the news in gaming, but the shit that's been going on in their lives and the games they've been playing. Still getting used to that.
Nailed it.
This week we've got Justin.
Hi. How are you?
And we have
Listener.
Lo. I can't tell when you were ending or not. You just kept going.
I never end.
Lo, say hi to everybody.
I am the man
Hi,
that
everybody.
never ends. I just come on and on, my friends.
Brilliant.
I think I've hated every single gimmick song that's
Because
ever
when I
been made.
started speaking, I didn't know that it would end. That didn't quite work. But I was trying to interrupt you again.
I know you were. Since you're so eager to start this episode, why don't you tell everyone
Lo, how are
what
you
you've
doing?
been playing? This is gonna be a nightmare for me to edit.
No, you have to leave it.
All right.
Everyone's a joke if you don't leave it.
I know. I have to leave it now. People, that's what listeners love. They love hearing their hosts talk over each other. It's great.
Oh yeah,
called
it's
banter.
the best thing in podcasts. I mean, it's an audio-only medium, so of course you want to hear all the audio at once,
Exactly.
right?
Get the most audio at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell everyone about the games you've been playing.
Yeah, a little bit more than last week. Still not a crazy amount. I jumped into the Destiny DLC that I got for Christmas and hadn't touched because when we played the other day, I kind of got a little bit back into it. But you said you didn't want to play with me until I was full level because you're a hater. So I figured I should do the DLC, even though you won't run it with me.
I'm sorry.
But it is really cool. Like, I can see what you meant about it being kind of in the repetitiveness of like the simulation or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is really pretty. It's laid out, but I do agree it's kind of just like hallway, and then it generates like a room full of enemies and stuff, and then you kill them all, and then unlock the gate, and then run down another hallway, and like that's not great.
No.
But it's all about the loop. So that's just proving, hey, this is a loop. Nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
But it's a really pretty loop. So yeah, that's fun. But I think I think just the repetitiveness of that section would be more fun with other people to run it with me. Because
Well, like,
I don't
okay.
think he's actually gotten there yet.
the problem I have with it, like doing it again, I've already done it 3 times with 3 different characters. I've done it with a buddy of mine already, so I've done the same thing 4 times. And a lot of those missions in that DLC is just the strikes. So I don't feel like I want to play those over again unless I'm building towards.
No, I wasn't actually guilting you. I was just saying, like, I've got another friend that was gifted the game recently, but I don't know if he's done that stuff yet, so I have to check with him.
All right. Yeah.
Because our schedules, like, even though he literally lives like 8 hours away from me or something in Chicago, and like I see him, a few times a year, our schedules don't line up very often, so I gotta make sure we can actually get together to do that. But yeah, that would be ideal. Otherwise, I mean, I'll just keep running it like a mission at a time, do it slowly, and then we can run some strikes and stuff later. But it is fun. Like, I'm enjoying getting back into that game. And you do go pretty quickly. I'm already like level 22 and like 270 something like level. And when we played last time, I was like level 20 and 240, something like that. And then I forgot what I played. I'll just jump into Blossom Tales.
All right,
because that's what I mostly remember. There's a few other things in the middle there. Like, I think I played a little bit more command mission and stuff like that. But yeah, Blossom Tales is a super cute, like, Zelda-like game that apparently came out on PC last year, but, the Switch is a magical console that gives games new life. So this is one of them. Yeah. And it's just kind of, I think it belongs on the Switch because it is kind of like a Zelda homage type game. Basically about like a grandpa telling his granddaughters or grandkids, I can't tell the gender of the other one, because one's named Lily and one's named Chris with a Y. And I think they're sisters, but that's a very ambiguous name, so I don't want to, assume a imaginary character's gender. Yeah. I don't want to trigger some little kid. But anyway,
bring down the fire.
Yeah, so Grandpa's telling the kids a story about, like, a kind of a bedtime story about a magical knight named Lily, which is also the name of one of the girls, so clearly he's making this up as they go along. And it's just this really kind of cool, like, empowering story of this little girl who, like, goes out and, like, does what all the other, like, knights, the castle knights don't feel like doing. There's, like, this whole force of people, and they just stand around complaining about their job. And she's like, I'll do it. I volunteer. And she's, like, super happy to go out there on this adventure. And it's really cool, like, the fact that it's a little girl. But you get a sword and shield first off. Like, the game literally starts with you, like, hopping out of bed and talking to your, I think, like, aunt or whatever, in the game at least. And so it has that kind of, like, Link to the Past feel without the rain. Then you go to the castle, you get your sword and shield, you go in your first little dungeon, get your first, like, dungeon item, and then you're sent off to get 3, like, items that you need to do this, like potion to help the king. And so that's kind of like your 3 trinkets you have to pick up in the first 3 dungeons, and then I'm sure something else happens later. I'm still pretty early in it, but yeah, it definitely has that Zelda feel. But it's also very aware of that fact because it kind of starts with a little in-joke of, like, let me tell you about a young elf boy from... And they're like, no, you already told us that one. Tell us something original. Nice. And it's really funny. I like that a lot.
Cool.
And the NPCs have some really good dialogue. And, like, I actually took a picture of... I need to post it on Twitter, but I took a picture of this room you go into that's literally just full of pots. People living there, and the one guy's like, oh, I love collecting pots, it's my favorite thing to do. And his girlfriend's like, please destroy these pots, I hate them.
Oh no.
So you just go through and just wreck all of the pots, and there's a treasure chest hidden in the room after you break them all that gives you, like, a heart piece. And after you break them all, the guy goes, no, my pots. And it's the best thing so far in the game. I love it.
How sad / funny.
Yeah, so it's little things like that. It's like if you don't know it, it's like it's still funny, but if you do, it's like, okay, I really appreciate this.
I guess she was trying to break his pot addiction.
This is why I talk over you.
Sure, you can make the puns, but I can't. God damn.
Because I make good puns. No, that was pretty good, but I didn't know how to respond to it, so I had to make another joke about it. Anyway.
Right.
now that it's broken. But yeah, it has a really nice little kind of like minimalistic art style, and it just has a lot of charm to it. And I think it's one of those games that probably didn't get enough love on PC, so it's worth shouting out now.
Yeah.
Because it just came out on Switch like late last year, something like that.
Was okay, yeah. It was soon. It was fairly recent.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like you talked about how the Switch is basically a new ground for old games that probably didn't have the light of day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy because I've seen like stats of like indie developers saying that they've sold more on the Switch than they've ever done like on previous consoles combined. And I'm like, wow, that's insane.
That's awesome.
It's insane.
Yeah, there are a few games that said they tripled their lifetime sales in the first week on the Switch, or something. Like games that have been out for a year or two.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Huge, though.
It's crazy.
Tripled lifetime sale. Wow. Nice.
I'm a little worried that like it's going to get oversaturated because there's just some crap that keeps getting released every week. But in that is like the good stuff. So you can always tell, you know, like what's better than the others just by how they look and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's still a few like I'll put on my wish list and then like look them up on Steam or whatever because you know there's more life as far as like reviews and stuff there.
Yeah.
And then decide if they're actually worth it because sometimes they look good and they're really not. If you have demos and you can kind of get it that way, but yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of random crap. Like there's a game this week released called Tennis. Just tennis.
Is it tennis?
I don't imagine that's a gym. But I do like that they're starting to get some of the day and date releases like Celeste. And it's not just like the year later ports. Because those are the games that are going to do really well. Like a lot of these developers now, they're like, "Oh, I started, you know, developing this game way before the Switch was even announced, so it wasn't even a thought to port it. But now I kind of want to bring it over." And it's like, in some cases that works, but I feel like with a lot of the big like AAA first party titles and stuff, like people have been asking about, you know, Monster Hunter World and things like that. I feel like that's too little, too late, because everyone that really cares about it has already gotten it, and anyone that might wait for a Switch port. If they hear, oh, we haven't even started working on that yet, they're not going to wait. So a lot of these little indie titles, you know, obviously they just kind of like they're sliding in under the radar, but these big releases, I don't think they're going to do that well. At least after the first year or so, because like things like LA Noire and Doom and stuff have actually done pretty decently. Skyrim is another one, but like I wonder how Wolfenstein 2 is going to do. And like, I think Dark Souls might do okay, but you know, how long is that going to last? So I want to see more of these indie titles come out, but I want to see stuff come out day and date, not, you know, 6 months to a year later.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think the Switch is going to be the grounds for those big AAA games. Maybe in the future. It's going to be the home for Nintendo and indies, basically. Like, and that's what kind of what the Wii U was. But that's why I like the Wii U, and they're kind of like just making like making good on the Wii U promise at this point, which isn't a bad thing. Like it's pretty great. That's why I like it.
Which I'm fine with, because I will, like, people are complaining, they're like, we should get massive discounts on these Wii U ports for people that actually had a Wii U and bought them. One, there's no way to verify that.
I mean, they did that with like
There's no
Call of Duty.
sharing.
They did that with like Call of Duty when they were doing when they were transferring from Xbox 360 to the Xbox One.
But that was the same account. There's no real shared account system between these systems.
I think it was more physical stores, like GameStop was doing upgrades and stuff like that. So like,
oh, okay, yeah, that I can see.
Like
you traded in toward that game and you get more trading credit.
Yeah, you'd be like 20. You would have to buy it again for $20 or something.
Like But the point is, like, while I would love that because I have bought a lot of these games, like I'm totally fine buying them again because I don't want to, like, you know, I'm not going to boot up my Wii U to play them. So if it's a cost to buy them again, that's fine. I want to play those games. I could trade that, like you said, I could trade them in like the Wii U versions and get the new ones.
Yeah,
I've been considering taking in like my Wii U and PS3 just like in general, and trading those in towards a, you know, an Xbox One or something. I don't know. But I've got all this stuff I don't use, so like it's not that big a deal to trade it in and get, you know, something I would play. I mean, that's the point of trade-ins. I don't think we need some major discount. The discount is called trade-in value.
Well, when they were doing it, like it was like it was like a special thing because like trade-in value right now is probably garbage for a lot of your Wii U stuff, even at the beginning.
Fair.
Um,
But if you do it like on
It would've been-
Amazon,
it would have been a nice little discount, but like they don't have any obligation, right? Like,
no, they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, they know that they'll get full price out of it anyway. So it's a
Exactly.
sleazy business tactic, but you're gonna pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Trump's America. You pay for everything, full price.
Yeah. Well, you've been playing anything else? Anything else going on in your life? Still house hunting?
Yeah, we're actually seeing a few on Sunday, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
As far as game stuff, I can't really think of anything else that's been too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I created another D&D character, which was kind of fun.
Nice.
Because my brother and some of his friends are wanting to get like just kind of a random game together every now and then. Like our first game is on Tuesday, so I wanted to get my character set up. But you know, it's not gonna be weekly or anything. It'll probably be maybe once a month or so. Bigger than I am, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to create kind of a different type of character because my first one was pretty much just a normal, not normal because he's like a genie type, but a pretty standard character as far as like the creation system. So I wanted to come up with something a little more clever and kind of like tweak the system a little bit to do something custom. So I came up with the idea of like a sorcerer. I was thinking wizard, but there's actually like differences in the wizard and sorcerer classes. So I call him a wizard, but he's technically a sorcerer. A sorcerer who's like doing a bunch of research and stuff. He's kind of an old man. I picture he's like worked at a like a magic school or something for years, and he's kind of bored, so he's been dabbling in like some dark magic and stuff like that. And he has like a kind of his house cat that like he sends out to get him different components and stuff for these spells. Just kind of takes care of the mice and like grabs like feathers and stuff, whatever he needs for spell components, because it's a big part of the sorcerer class. And so he's working on a really complicated potion that he's not quite sure of what it does, but like he's been reading through this. He wants to test it out on like a mouse that like his cat has captured for him. And so they gather their components together. He puts it all in there, and the cat like freaks out and like knocks this potion on him, and like on both of them, and they like kind of in a way like fuse together sort of. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but they fuse together in a way that like basically puts his consciousness like frozen inside of the cat.
Oh wow.
Essentially the character is a halfling, in this case is the race because it's small. It was easier to do the character creation with the small race, as far as like the stat block and stuff. But yeah, anyway, a halfling sorcerer in the body of a cat. So like the character is a cat, but like they have like an awakened animal type thing, quote unquote, in the D&D mechanics, where you can basically like have an animal that has like higher intelligence, so it can actually like speak and do things. But that was kind of boring to me. I wanted it to be like an actual character that had a life in the past but is now a cat. And there's no mechanical way to do that because the only options are like a polymorph spell, which essentially will go away whenever you hit 0 hit points. So there's no guarantee that's permanent.
Yeah.
So my idea is that he was actually working on a polymorph spell, like a really heavy duty one, and got it a little bit wrong and used some kind of like ice dragon essence in there that was really powerful. And so the fusing of the animal and the person together like froze his consciousness inside of the animal.
So what happened to the cat's
because one part is like when you pick a sorcerer, you have to choose like your arcanic origin, like where your power comes from basically. And for some reason in the character creator I was using, the only option was draconic origin. So this, like, I like this because it gives you, you choose which dragon you want, and they're different elements. And the ice dragon element basically gives you a thicker natural armor. So your armor class is higher without armor than it normally would be. And I was thinking, like, okay, cats can't wear armor, so this actually works really well because then the natural like cat hide could theoretically be kind of like like icy, like more solid. Because it's been fused with like dragon essence in a way. So since he can't wear armor, it kind of helps with the defense a little bit in a way that armor would normally fix. So it all worked mechanically, but also was like the only option I had really. So I figured just work the dragon part into the origin and call it a day. But yeah, so basically I will be playing as a cat sorcerer, and kind of the drawback here is that because it's a cat, it can't use like components, which some sorcerer spells, like there's essentially with D&D, there's verbal, there's somatic, which are like hand gestures, and there's components for spells. So some things are only vocal, some things are only somatic, some things are only components, some are all three. So when I was choosing my spells, I decided that I can't pick any that use components, because that basically means you have to combine, like you have to, break something down in the spell casting process. So I figured like the fun of this difference is that there's going to be complications as far as the battle mechanics. So it can use, full verbal and somatic spells just fine, but it can't use components. And then also it can't wear armor or equip weapons, but it has natural claws. And then, like I said, spells, of course. And one of the spells I gave him was Mage Hand, so he can at least do things like, open doors and stuff if he has to, because that's something that can be used freely. So I was trying to think around the, like, okay, you're a cat. What would you do to, make up for that fact? So it's been kind of fun, like, figuring out this thing that's, like, totally custom, because that's not a race, obviously.
Yeah.
But a few of the other people in our party are, like, a cat race called Tabaxi, which is, like, a custom race that was added later in the game. And has to be approved by the DM. So I was like, okay, we have two like cat people in our party that are like walking on two legs and stuff, but have feline features, kind of like the Khajiit in Skyrim.
Nice.
And so I thought it'd be funny to be a cat that was once a human and like is not regretful, but that like has spite, I guess, is spiteful against these two cat people that are on two legs and can have weapons and stuff. And so it's like, I'll go with you, but I'm not going to hang around them. And then also, of course, he's got really good acrobatics and stuff. So like, that's kind of fun. Like, because sorcerers are usually more, hands off, like stay in the back and do range spells and stuff. But having more acrobatics could have some really cool stuff as far as, So it's like, it's a different kind of sorcerer, and I think it'll be fun to play with. But
Nice.
yeah, that was what I spent a lot of my time doing, was kind of researching like how I can make this character work inside the mechanics of the game. And I didn't quite figure it out, but I kind of figured, just cheat with a polymorph and make it work. The DM approved it, so it's fine. Don't at me, D&D fans. I want to be a cat. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I was actually asking you what happened to the consciousness of the cat.
The idea I have is it's still buried in there.
Okay.
So like it's not something I really want to mess with too much.
All right.
But essentially he's fighting for dominance against a cat inside the body.
That's pretty great.
So there might be something where like every now and then he has to roll like a D100, or like the cat will act on its own, something like that. But it's not something I really want to touch on too much. It's a thought I had of how to keep the cat there, because I originally thought maybe they'd swap bodies, like a Freaky Friday situation, but with human and cat. But then I thought it'd be weird to have a halfling running around there with like a cat mind, and that he'd probably end up just killing his halfling form instead. Because that's kind of freaky to like have a cat in his body. I feel like you would want to die at that point. And that seemed a little dark, so I figured just make it be either just ignore that fact, like he took over the conscious because his intellect is way stronger, or have it be like a kind of a turmoil inside his mind.
Nice.
Or have them meld. He has cat like influences sometimes. Like he wants to blend in, so like he lets people pet him until it gets weird. He doesn't like belly rubs because it's inappropriate. But yeah, like there's fun stuff to deal with there.
I'm not into the mind meld. That seems more freaky than having the cat in my body. Leave my mind alone. It's a special place.
I mean, I had to choose languages, and so like he knows Common, which is the basic language, and then also Undercommon, which is kind of like what
cat language,
what like primitive creatures speak. So theoretically, he would speak, like he would be able to understand, cat language,
Yeah.
I think that falls into Undercommon. So he could possibly have an understanding with the cat conscience, and they kind of share the body in a way.
D&D is fun. It's crazy that you can come up with this stuff.
Yeah. I really think you guys should play. I think you'd enjoy it.
Like I said, I'd be down. Ben's not at all.
I know.
No confirmation.
I was trying
from
to get a group together, but it's just hard to make the time work.
Yeah, true.
Especially now that I've already got another group on Mondays. But
yep.
I don't know.
Well, they sound interesting.
Lo, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
What have I been playing this week? Let's see. Oh, I actually, because Fortnite's been weird, so I've just been looking for another horde mode type of game to play. So I actually had gotten Gears of War 4 a while back, and there's a couple of problems I have with this game, and they're actually not with the game itself. It's the freaking Windows Store.
Oh, you bought it on the Windows Store.
Yeah, I didn't. Is there somewhere else I could have bought it? Did I
the Xbox. I mean, you could have got an Xbox.
I didn't want to do that though. I just wanted it for a PC, so I bought it through the Windows. So I'm like, how bad could it be? It can't be that bad. And then
it's not good.
First of all, the game, it's 120 something gigs, the download.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the Windows Store download speeds are abysmally slow. So I had to let this thing download for 3 days. Something stupid like that.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
And then a couple of times it just froze, and then it wouldn't resume itself. So I'd have to start over, and then I'm like, screw this. So then it was over for a while, then I just didn't bother. And then so this last week it worked. I'm like, oh cool, it works. So I got
now how do I find my game?
Right?
Yes, I have that problem so badly. It's I boot it up, I'm like, all right, I know I have games, where are they? Oh, it's so bad. It's awful.
So I got into the game, right? And then I started playing the story mode because because gameplay wise, it's Gears of War. You go for a little bit, here's some banter, and then there's a bunch of walls and chest high walls and shit. There's gonna be a fight, and then sure enough, enemies spawn. It's one of those shooting gallery type of games. But it's kind of one of those games I can tune out and play. So it's not anything groundbreaking or anything like that. It looks fine. It's a good looking game. It's so I was playing it and stuff, and some of the dialogue is legitimately funny too. So I was playing it, I was maybe 20 minutes in, and then game just crashes to desktop out of nowhere.
Oh,
and I'm like, what's going on? It was working just fine. And then so I looked up a bunch of reasons why it could have crashed, and turns out it was the freaking Windows Store that made it crash. So I had to do something, go back and go to the system files and reset the Windows Store, and then it worked just like that after that. So all the problems that I've had with the game were not from the game itself, which is annoying. But once I got around all the Windows Store shit, it was fun. Then I played the horde mode a bit, and it was pretty cool. So I've been playing that. I might
be able to. I'm gonna see if I can get Gears of War 4. I know I have the Xbox Game Pass, so I know I can get it on the Xbox. But I wonder if I can.
Because I think there's crossplay as long as it's co-op. Yeah. I don't think there's PvP crossplay, so we should.
Yeah, I was wondering if that works because I assume we're going to get Sea of Thieves, and I don't know if that works between PC and Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that one does. I think we need to look this stuff up.
Yeah, I remember hearing something for Gears of War about the crossplay only working with co-op.
I think
for
it's
some reason.
first party titles are going to be like that. First party titles, they'll make it work.
You'd think.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Here's the hoping. But other than that, I also have been playing a little bit of this game that Thomas actually gifted me called Origami. Super cool game. It's a really cool game. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm planning on doing a video on it soon. Really cool game though. It's a nice stealth game, and I'll just leave it at that.
We'll just say what it is. It's a third-person stealth game. Really cool art style. Moment you look at it, you'll be like, "Damn, that's really good."
It's an indie title though, I believe too, right? I remember. I think I remember seeing it on Game Jolt or something, and then next thing I know, it's on Steam. Oh, cool. So, Yeah, so we'll be having some content on that soon. And then other than that, what else have I been playing? Not much else. XCOM 2. I'm so bad at XCOM 2. I'm still trying to get past like the mission after the tutorial mission because I keep killing off my rookies on accident. I overextend and then I forget to go into Overwatch, and the next thing I know, like
you gotta save scum in those games. Like that's the way.
I need to slow it down with that game.
There's gonna be a lot of people that will be like, "Oh, you save scummer," but like that's the way I play those games. I would have anxiety attacks if I wouldn't be able to do that.
I tried not to, but I couldn't resist.
Yeah,
I couldn't resist. Plus, I'm planning on like making like some of the characters into my friends, so I can't like have them like die and be permadead. I can't have that. So I'm trying to get good at that.
Soul can't rest on your conscience.
Yeah, exactly. Like I won't be able to sleep. But yeah, so that's been fun getting used to that. I'm not a big strategy game player either, so this is going to be interesting for me. Just getting used to this sort of game style. So
yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the strategy style games. Like I used to love playing those games when I was younger, and I kind of just left them by the wayside while a bunch of really good ones have come out. And like
I heard StarCraft 2 is good.
Yeah, I was never into StarCraft, but stuff like XCOM 2 came out. Like old school RPGs have coming out. Like Divinity 2 came out last year. Kind of want to get my hands on that.
Yeah. I heard good things about that.
Like Pillars of Eternity. Like I've heard amazing things about that. So like I want to get back to my roots kind of this year. That's gonna be my
part of me wants to try Divinity 2, but then I hear how like complicated it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I understand D&D more than I understand this game, and that's
it's kind of like D&D in the way, like in a way, right?
Like they have their own system, probably.
Yeah, but it's a little too much. Like I like D&D 5th edition because it's a lot more about like the creative role playing stuff. A lot of these old games that are kind of inspired by like classic D&D are more like 3.5 or / Pathfinder.
It's like Baldur's Gate,
which is a lot more like stat based and things like that. They're like much higher number based. They have a lot more dice rolling, and it's just like it's really complicated systems, and it's a lot harder to remember how to do everything, and you're more likely to get stuff wrong. But in that, if you get it wrong, it's not that big a deal. With something like Divinity, it's like that's the game. Like if you can't get it wrong, you just have to understand it, and I don't. So it's too much to learn.
It's I love
turn-based.
Save scummer. Yeah, I think it's action turn-based. Kind of like how Baldur's Gate was.
And then the other one, Pillars of Eternity, that one's also turn-based, I imagine.
I think it is. I haven't played them, but I have those copies of games. Like I have them just sitting on my hard drive. So I might as well dig in there and see what it's all about.
Yeah. You should play Fallout 2.
Yeah. I have that as well. I played them when I was younger as well.
That one's super good.
Yeah.
The menus are a little archaic.
Oh yeah.
The gameplay's so good. The amount of choices you can make in that game put Halo 3 and 4 to shame.
Yeah.
Or Fallout, sorry.
Going back to strategy stuff, like I recently just got Civ 6 with the new Humble monthly bundle. So like dig myself into another Civilization game.
I heard good things about that.
Yeah, so like this is like my theme of the year is to go back to my old school PC gaming habits.
Sweet.
I haven't really played too much this week. It's been mostly Destiny 2 and WCW. Watching some old wrestling.
Because those go together, right?
Yeah, it's like peanut butter and honey, or whatever you want to put peanut butter with.
Peanut butter and maple syrup, you mean?
Ooh.
I haven't tried that, oddly enough.
Ooh. I like the way you think.
Yeah, it's
only
something good.
Brand.
Yeah. So yeah, been playing a lot of Destiny 2. I have 2 characters at max level now. Trying to get that third one. It's just a roll of the dice to get that last piece of equipment. Kind of sucks, but that's the way the game is. Playing that.
I don't think I could grind out 3 characters in that game.
Uh, I just I'm like I said, I'm probably watching more wrestling than I am playing that game. Honestly, I'm just grinding out the powerful gear for it.
Mhm.
I'm at the point in WCW where Hulk Hogan spray painted NWO on the championship, so that's pretty great. Other than that, I've been playing more Tekken 7, and I played a little bit of Hob last night.
Oh,
I got that game actually from selling off a bunch of stuff from PUBG. Like I had a bunch of stuff that it was like
Nice.
really worth money, so I
That's
sold it
pretty
all
cool.
off, and then I bought Hob.
Are the prices up again? I haven't sold my stuff.
They're all right. It's enough to
Oh.
get me like $30. So
That's pretty good.
yeah,
yeah, that is pretty good.
it's basically the same price as PUBG was.
No wonder people hack that game. Jeez.
Exactly. Get that money. I've only played 30 minutes of Hob. You want me to spoil like the first 30 minutes or the first few minutes? It's kind of like an emotional spoiler.
Can you talk around it? Because I really want to play it.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. There's a really like good emotional moment that happens at the beginning of the game.
Like an Ori type?
Like it's like Ori, but not as emotional, but it's still emotional.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't gotten too far into it. I literally just got my arm and the sword, so I'm just chopping around grass, punching things, upgrading my arm. Yeah, I need to play more of it honestly, because I'm looking at my time here. It's 26 minutes, so like that's barely nothing, but I'm getting into it. Yeah, the only thing I really wanted to say was that spoiler, but I don't want to give Justin a spoiler, so I'm being a good friend.
Thanks. It's
Um,
on the
other-
agenda soon. It's just,
Yeah.
saving money right now.
Mm-hmm. Houses are expensive. You need
Yeah.
every penny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when all we can find is fixer-uppers.
I'm looking at my list here. I guess I played Prey this week. I don't remember that.
Is that game good?
Oh
Like-
yeah, I think it's really good. Like I'm trying to get like I've gotten to the point where I'm trying to do all the side quests now. And I'm like actually reading all the diaries and stuff, which I never do in any of these games. But it's kind of like interesting to read about like what happened with the experiment and what went wrong. And then like since you have I heard that but you're trying to figure out what went wrong, and since you have amnesia, there's like apparently there's different types of you, like there's different personalities of you that thought different things while things were happening. So you don't know if you're doing the right thing or not, but you're just going along with this old database or this old like recording have told you like what to do. And so
Weird.
yeah, it's like it's kind of fucking me up. Just like what's going on with Morgan. There's actually other survivors that you meet along the way. I found one of them. He's like the cook, and one of the missions was you're supposed to save him. So you save him, and then there's something in the freezer that you have to go get to give to him. So you go inside the freezer. He freezes you out, and then your suit thaws you out because you upgrade your suit before you go in, obviously. And then you thaw out, and you look in the back of the freezer. You find out he's basically just been eating people the whole time, trying to survive. Like he's like killing people, like these two women who had like
escalated quickly.
yeah. There was like these
Whoa.
two. You find out these two women are like having this love affair or whatever, and he killed one of them, and he's like eating her, and then you end up finding her finding her lover, and she's like outside, like floating in space, trying to do something. I can't remember what it is specifically, but she ends up helping you out, and then she says the only thing I want you to do is to kill that bastard for me, to like avenge my lover. And she's sacrificing herself to open up the bay doors for you or something like that. I can't remember, but it's really good. Like the stories that are
What?
in that, and it all takes place on this one space station, which is really cool. Like
Damn, that plot be thick.
yeah, like this is just one side quest. You don't even have to do this.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's great. I want to play like I love it. I could actually I think I'm actually at the part where I can just hit the escape pod and get out, and that's not even the main mission. It's like a secondary mission of escaping. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Nice. You don't have to beat the game.
There's different. I guess there's different ways to beat the game.
Like, yeah, because the main mission should be to leave. Like,
I think the other part of your
and beat
mission is basically just to like expose what's happening there and like get the data and all that other stuff. The other one is just like get the hell out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. Trying to think of what I've been playing on my Xbox. Probably just more Cuphead. Can't really think of anything else other than that. So that's all I've been playing. Yeah.
I did stream some Metroid Fusion. I kind of forgot about that. I didn't forget, but I forgot like that happened this week, which was fun. I missed that game. It's really good.
Nice.
Too bad I never had time to stream, or else I'd do it more often. But yeah, it was nice to jump back into a Metroidvania again.
Very nice.
Except it just made me anxious for whatever comes next. I love Metroid Fusion, but like I log, I'm just like, oh my god, this game, but I don't want to play this version of it. I want to play a game that's less guided.
Yeah. All right. I guess that'll be the end of the show for this half. Justin, where can the people watch your stuff?
I am at Zero Score on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. I've started putting the Final Fantasy IX story play episodes on Twitch with their video producer program. So all of the ones that are out right now are on there, and I'm also going to be doing like premiere events for them at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday mornings when they go live before they're put on YouTube. So I wanted to kind of have like an event based around the show, kind of make it feel more like an actual TV show, and people can come and watch live or quote unquote live, and chat about the episode while it's happening. And then at 9 a.m. it'll go up on YouTube. So it's going to be a little bit later than it used to be, but I want to have that moment where I can be in the chat with people. And if I did it any earlier, I wouldn't be up and ready. So yeah, join us on Saturday mornings if you want and watch along. It's going to be a fun little event. But aside from that, I haven't been doing too much. So I just wanted to do a quick plug for my little Final Fantasy story play series that we're all in.
And Lo, where can the people find your stuff?
You guys can find me social media wise. You can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero with letters. I am working on, I guess it's starting to become like the main sort of quote unquote show of my channel. It's called The Lowdown. So yeah, follow me on Twitter to find out more, because I'm just sort of still in the developing stages, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. So that's where you can find me. And also you can find me here every week, of course, with these fine gentlemen.
And I'm going to switch the camera over. Here we go. And you can find me, your host, Thomas, here at chartershot.com. You recently released a video of us, well, you two, playing GTA.
You were there, kind of.
I had like two voiceover sections. That was about it. Just me like playing Super Mario Odyssey in the background and waiting for it to load.
You're in the next episode though. That'll be out before this goes live. So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, you guys did phenomenal work on editing the footage. It's pretty good.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I got to work on the next one though.
Yeah, you can also email me, thomas@chartershot.com. You can also check out my Twitter, CSGThomas. Until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye.
Kissy face?
Yeah, kissy face.
He did.
I do that with my dogs. What?
I got to take a quick bathroom break, but just real quick. Justin, are you familiar with this game called Islands? Spelled
Yeah,
with a
I
Y.
heard of it. I think it's on my wish list. I didn't know it was on sale though. Actually.
Yeah, I saw that it was on your wish list. That's why I checked it out, and I actually emailed the developer, and I got 2 keys for it.
Nice.
I like
Awesome.
just got the email for it while we were recording.
Why
and I was
two?
like
Is it
really
a
excited,
multiplayer
so I
thing?
wanted to tell you. I believe it has multiplayer. Yeah. So
Okay.
So we should
Very
definitely
cool.
Might
check
need to
that
get
out. I'll
some
send you.
hashtag content out of that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let me just run to the restroom real quick though.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
was gonna ask him if he had, because the way we're doing GTA is like putting out one episode to Patreon for like a week, and then put it to the public, and then the next one to the Patreon that same day.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask him if he had was it 3rd episode out today
Oh,
for
yeah.
Patreon. I forgot.
Okay.
That's why I
Yeah.
gotta work on it over the weekend because gotta go out on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I do
Hello.
the kissy face with my dogs, and then you like to give me licks. Yep, that's a sentence I said.
What does he lick though?
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, I can't say anything. Weasley loves nose licks.
Yeah. The things you do for your pets, right?
It's true. They're so cute.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Get a cat, Lo.
Yeah.
I really want a cat.
Yeah, get a cat.
Tony's a freaking dog person.
Get both.
Dogs are great too.
No, they're
Yeah.
not. But get
Ideally,
both.
I want to have both. I want to get a cat first, though. I really want to get a cat first.
I think cats are a
Really
better
don't know
starter
this.
animal.
I think so too.
Yeah, they are.
Especially when you go on vacation or out of town or something like
They're a
that.
little low
Right.
maintenance, right?
It's like it gets you used to having to take care of something, but without all of the responsibility of a dog. You can still have a life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But dogs are so cute. They look at you with their face, and they're just like, I worship you. I love you.
Our cats do that.
My cat's never worshipped me.
Weasley is
Your cat's
basically a
just like,
dog
whatever,
in
man.
cat form. Like
Ah.
he wants everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Just saying.
Yeah, animals are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot. Or no, that's not right. Still getting used to
Nailed
it.
it.
Stop looking at me.
It's been like 4 weeks.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Video Game Newsy News Show here on ChargeShot.com and also on LFG Radio. I am joined today by Justin.
Who are you?
Me?
You didn't say your name.
Oh, I am Thomas, but that's okay. No one needs to know who I am. Since Ben's not here, I have to be the self-deprecating one. We also have Lo.
How's it going,
I'm
everybody?
Justin. I was getting yours, and then I was going to say mine, but you skipped over me then because
You already said yours.
nice. Being a gentleman, and you skipped me.
You already said yours, didn't you?
I just no.
No?
I just used mine to introduce to get you to say yours.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. What's the news?
Bird is
Over
look,
this.
look what you said.
I'm the self-deprecating one now.
It's a heavy burden to bear.
Yeah, so today we break down the news for all you folks out there. First news on my docket here is Epic is closing down Paragon in April 26th. So yeah, you all played
Surprising
Paragon,
yellow.
right? Great game.
Once.
I played it like maybe 4 times.
Okay.
Total.
I never played it. But anyways, they're shutting it down. They said basically that they didn't execute well enough to deliver on the promise of Paragon. We failed you despite the team's incredibly hard work, and we're sorry. And essentially, they're doing all refunds for Paragon on both PC and PlayStation 4. And this refund is coming from Epic itself rather than from Sony or the platform.
Oh.
So
Is that
all
just for the Is that just for the game itself, or does that include like any like microtransaction stuff?
I assume it's going to include like everything.
The game is
As-
free to play.
Yeah.
So it wasn't originally, but I would assume that it's like refunds to everyone that asks for them. So like regardless of what they put into it.
Yeah, there's also a page that you can go to. We can put that in the show notes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Paragon first went on sale March 2016 and went into free-to-play early access almost a year later in February. So yeah, Paragon. It looks like Epic is pushing all of their eggs into one basket of Fortnite, and I don't really blame them at this point. Like, there's so many people playing it. It's ridiculous.
It's true.
Well, there's so many people playing Battle Royale. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
Right.
it's still Fortnite.
Sure. The free to play one though.
I think there's.
I don't see
Yeah, that's why they're not two separate things. That's why they're part of like you have if you like, yeah, if you want to play Battle Royale, they're not like they come together essentially. So I can see why they did it so they can have bigger numbers to report on. It's like, oh, people playing Fortnite, and they don't differentiate between the Battle Royale or the Save the World. But there's not a lot of people playing Save the World. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
The fact that they're refunding everyone on like PC and PlayStation 4 themselves kind of leads me to believe that but the Battle Royale version's been like raking in a ton of money because they're doing it themselves. They're not asking their platform holders to like give refunds.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's infinite value in goodwill gestures.
That's very true.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Keeping your customers happy is more important than the money you might not lose by rejecting something like this. Like basically they could say, they could just not offer this at all. And then when people come to them say, oh yeah, we'll offer you a refund, but not make it a public gesture. By making it a public gesture, it's gaining them goodwill, which is valuable. And they can put any of this in a tax write-off anyway, so it doesn't matter to them.
That's very true. Yeah.
They're probably inflating their books anyway. All businesses do. This is Trump's America. I don't even know if they're an American company. I just love saying that.
I bet 90% of the time you'd be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said before, Fortnite, it's a force to be reckoned with. It's huge. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for shutting down.
I'm worried about Unreal, honestly. Like Unreal Tournament. We haven't heard anything about that in a while.
Yeah.
They pulled sources from both Paragon now, and before they pulled resources from Paragon, they pulled resources from Unreal Tournament in order to work on the Battle Royale. So now it just seems like everything's full steam ahead Fortnite. Well, the thing with Unreal Tournament's in like this weird sort of limbo where they're like, oh, well, we're working on it, but it's a community thing, like contribute all your stuff. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's in like this weird sort of zone, but it's still in pre-alpha. So it's like, who knows? Yeah. Who even like, it's just weird to say that the future of Unreal Tournament is like uncertain. It just feels weird. But
I don't think the arena shooter has been the boom everyone was expecting it to be, and then Battle Royale like Fortnite and PUBG came out and just like, no, this is the new thing that everyone's excited about, and so like that gets me worried about Quick Champions. I haven't heard great things about that either. It's not even out yet. Like they might pull the plug on that, and Bethesda might be working on something that's Battle Royale-ish.
It's a shame because I still like my arena shooters. I still love some Unreal Tournament.
Yeah. It's that quick arcade action. It's the same people. I think it's the same people that have been flocking to Battle Royale instead of PUBG. Like, it's that quicker aspect. Like Battle Royale, like you go into a mission and like friend of the show Jake has been saying that he'll drop into a mission or drop into a map and like be dead before he even hits the ground. Like people are just shooting them out of the air because you drop so quickly, you get weapons so quickly. Like it moves so much quicker. And it's like you're in and out of a game, within 5 to 10 minutes instead of the like 30 to 40 minutes that a Battlegrounds game can go. And I feel like that's just a, side-by-side comparison of the arena shooter compared to like a, Halo or Call of Duty or something. They're two sides of the same coin. It's just for some reason people like the 100 people in a map instead of like 4-on-4 or whatever.
Yeah,
That's really the only difference I see.
it's true.
It's just more people.
You got a good point there. Yeah.
So I think Unreal could tweak their gameplay to include like maybe even just like 20-on-20 matches or something, have bigger maps,
Right.
and still be successful.
Yeah.
Because there is merit to that,
definitely.
like the health pickups and the fast gameplay and the alternate shooting modes. Like all of that stuff is fun. It's just we're in a landscape where people want to stream everything, and if you have a game mode where it's very tense and you want to be the top person alive, like survival modes have been around forever. I don't know what meant, like now they're just getting it right somehow.
Yeah.
But you can put a survival mode into anything.
It's true.
And even
Very
Fortnite
true.
has done the 50-on-50 mode now. So
Mm-hmm.
there's diversity there to be had. I think it could be applied to other games. It's just Unreal needs to figure out how they're going to do that. And especially with it being community driven, they could make that work and bring it back into the light. But I hope that happens because that has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
There was a one game mode I remember. It was in 2004, but they took it out after that since it involved like bigger maps. It was called Onslaught. So it was more like you were kind of like you started with your base and you kind of have to like power up these nodes and connect like your base to the enemy's base, and that's the only way you can actually do damage to their base. So it was really objective driven. They had vehicles and all this kind of stuff, but for some reason it just wasn't really talked about at the time. So hopefully I'm hoping that they kind of revisit something like that, because with the newer Unreal Engine 4 they could just do it even bigger and better than they did previously. So I guess we'll have to see though. So
that sounds more like an Overwatch mode, but that's still, again, it's a popular game type.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's way more to it than just it being a large player base. Honestly, they didn't even. I keep forgetting that like Unreal Tournament is kind of like legacy in my mind. Like it's great, but it's like it's old and like that's not the cool new thing. And I'm surprised that Unreal is even still around. Like I keep forgetting that it is still around until you guys mention it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. The thing's not there.
It's so good though, and it's free. Everyone play Unreal Tournament. It's free. Just
you
go
have to
play
download
it.
the Epic launcher though.
It is.
You have to download that to play Fortnite.
Yeah, that's why
it's
you
not
don't
the
play
Windows
Fortnite.
10 freaking store.
But like Fortnite's on PlayStation 4, so people could just download it there. I think that's the real reason to their success with Fortnite is that it's on consoles and it's free. Like
Unreal Tournament doesn't translate very well to consoles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Unreal Championship.
yeah, it's more hardcore PC based.
Yeah.
You need that reflex in your mouse.
It has some good mouse and keyboard controls though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I usually play with controller. Unreal, I don't.
All right. Moving on, we got SteamWorld Dig and Faye developers are merging to become Studio Thunderful. I'm surprised that there's a merger happening here because Faye's not out.
They've done other games though.
So SteamWorld Dig 2 developer Image and Form is merging with Faye developer Zoink to form a new studio, Thunderfold. The pair jointly announced. Both indie studios are based in Gothenburg, Sweden. So shout out to Hedgie.
Oh boy.
And have been working together for some time. Image and Form CEO Berjan, I'm not even going to pronounce these names, explained in his statement the merger is a formalization and natural extension of that relationship. So yeah, they've collaborated for a long time and continue to develop games with existing and new IPs under the respective labels. So it seems like they've been working together for a while and finally decided to just merge studios. So cool.
It's actually like, I mean, it says they're gonna keep making their own games, which is fine. I don't know if they'll come out under like a joint label of like Image and Form and Thunderful, things like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually a little disappointing. Like I love to see this because they're both great studios. But when you think about, like where a lot of games come out of, like there's very few studios that are in, other countries and stuff like that. So if you start merging the smaller studios into a bigger one, sign, but also it looks like there's less studios in these countries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's also a bigger
News.
risk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, I think it's good news at the end, but it also it looks like there's only one studio in this area now, instead of like, oh, here's all this opportunity in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other Swedish studios. I'm not saying that, but that was just an example.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But also, again, these are great developers, and so if they've already been working together, who knows what they can make officially together?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the SteamWorld Dig studio. Like they've been making SteamWorld games for years now, and they're all great. The other one, I don't know them as much, but Flipping Death was one that came out. I think it was like mid last year or something like that, and was getting some good buzz. But I don't really do point and click games, so it wasn't my style. But
did Flipping Death come out already? Because that looked pretty interesting. I don't know if it. I have to look into that.
I think it did.
All right. Another game that looks pretty interesting is Soul Calibur 6.
Needs more link.
I didn't get a chance to look at the trailer yet. I'm sorry, but you want to take this one over?
I didn't look at it either. I
Okay.
sent it to you at work. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, this new character looks pretty cool. Like, just visually, I saw like pictures of him.
Yeah.
Although the name is strange, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's just Grow.
Yeah.
What
I
is
guess
that?
so.
Like, oh, with
Grow?
the
Grow?
slash through it.
Grow?
Grow? I don't know. But what makes me the most happy is that it confirms Killick is coming back, and Killick was my character in the older games. His
Nice.
staff attacks are so cool.
He was pretty rad.
So yeah, like the new character looks great. And I love that they're bringing in new characters, because they've had a rough history of that in the last few entries. But mostly it was the Killick announcement that I wanted to shout out.
All right.
My boy is back.
Azure Nightmare is back. That's pretty cool. Nightmare's pretty good.
He's too slow for me.
I kind of like the slow, powerful characters. Like King is kind of slow, but he's like his kicks are super powerful. So, and then also Zhenghua is also making her return.
I don't know who that is.
That's the Chinese lady who's really fast, like the stereotype, the fast Chinese
The
lady.
plucky little hero girl.
Yeah.
Very cool.
As long as we have Killick, Taki, and what is
Link.
it? Yoshimitsu? Is that the weird guy
The sword guy, or no, yeah, that's right.
with the circle blades? You know what
I
I'm
thought
talking
Yoshimitsu was the one with the sword who
that
bounces
was,
around. I thought that's
about? Or they were like hand blades, but some of them are circular. Like he has different, as long as those three are there, I'm happy.
His name.
Yeah. So yeah, more Soul Calibur 6 hype. Look forward to that.
It's a good roster already.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is in there.
Oh, also we need Ivy. I forgot about Ivy.
Oh yeah, of course, Ivy.
Yes.
Classic.
She's the best.
Solid.
She's been there since the original, so I'm sure
Yep.
she's back.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't have a good segue for this one. I was gonna say, speaking of things that should come back, shouldn't come back. I don't know, but Mitomo's going away. Mitomo's going away May 9th. So,
I got nothing for that either.
what?
But it won't be missed, so it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. It was like a fun thing. Like it was like a fun honeymoon affair that we all had. Like in the beginning, like getting our friends on and just doing stupid like pictures with the me's.
I mean, yeah, like the picture thing was legitimately cool, but the game loaded so slowly that it wasn't worth pulling up to do anything with.
Absolutely, it was. It was the first thing Nintendo put out on phones, and it was kind of like, this is going to be an example of what we're gonna do with phones.
Yeah. And that's what they said. Is like it was just to show off what our plans are, and like it was there to give the average phone user an idea of what their properties are through like the costumes and stuff like that. Long-term thing, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So
But it is a shame for anyone that put like a bunch of money into it.
yeah, they have. I can't even remember what the games were, but I remember there was like a slot system to get clothing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like buy tickets through the
Yeah.
to do those more.
Mm-hmm.
It's had like it'll be just over 2 years when it finally goes away that it was out, and that's not a lot of time to enjoy a game, especially when it's free to play with microtransactions. I feel like there should be a longer sunset period for that.
Yeah, it feels like this
but,
kind of came out
I
of
mean,
nowhere.
if no one's playing it, then whatever.
Yeah, true. Speaking of games no one's playing, David Jaffe and his studio. So for those of you who don't know, David Jaffe came out and he made, I think it's called Drawn to Death,
Yup.
and I think it was a free to play game, or it launched free with PlayStation Plus, and it was kind of like an online arena shooter type of thing. But the aesthetic of it was like a teenager's notebook who grew up in the Attitude Era of the 90s. And so it was like really offensive and like kind of just off-putting to like play and listen to. But yeah, his studio is hit with layoffs. Kind of announced.
And let's be clear, it's never fun when people lose their jobs. Like, we're not making fun of this thing. It's just that was a bad game.
Yeah, it just launched terribly. David Jaffe, though, like for those that don't know, he's kind of famous within the PlayStation realm. Like he basically founded like Twisted Metal and God of War. But yeah, so his latest endeavor didn't really work out. So we'll see what he plans to do next.
But I freaking love Twisted Metal, so maybe just go back to that.
Maybe make a good Twisted Metal now.
I'd play that.
Yeah.
I'd play some Twisted Metal.
I miss it.
Speaking of creators that want to make new games, we got 50 Cent wanting to make another game.
That's an okay segue.
I'm trying, man. These don't really segue together very well.
No, it's a lot of random stuff this week.
Yeah. So yeah, 50 Cent kind of just came out and said he wanted to make another video game. When asked by GameStop if he'd want to make a third game in what I'm choosing to call the 50 Cent trilogy, he said, "Definitely, I'm interested. I just have to find the right concept. Everything I touch, I want to be unique. I want it to be special." Let me put thought into it, because those things will be here longer than I would. When I came up with another game, I want to make sure it's something we enjoy for a long time. So it's kind of nice.
He's had a random resurgence lately, like with that Den of Thieves movie he's got coming out, and apparently a TV show he's working on. Like, I don't know. It's honestly like he didn't make bad games. I mean, there's merit to that, even though it sounds stupid. Like, there's merit to his game. I mean, he doesn't make them, obviously, but like coming up with the idea and getting them produced and stuff, like he's done a good job so far.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever heard of was that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull game, and 50 Cent Bulletproof was before that. But I heard Crystal Skull was pretty fun, like an arcade third-person shooter.
You're talking about Blood in the Sand?
Or is that Blood in the Sand? Yeah, I thought it was the Crystal Skull for some reason. I think it's because there's a Crystal Skull in the game, isn't there? Or a jewel-encrusted skull. Like he does a performance at
it's Blood in the Sand.
Yeah, Blood in the Sand.
And he was also part of the Def Jam games, which I really liked, actually.
Oh, Def Jam, yes. Good one.
Those are good.
Good game. Fight for New York.
But no, I heard a story this morning, I think, that he apparently like accidentally got like $8 million from Bitcoin.
Of course.
Whoops.
Of course he would.
Like 50 Cent is so random. He said, I guess, like he accepted Bitcoin for purchasing his CD, like some CD he had that came out a few years ago. Whatever. I mean, it's money's money, and he got like $4,000 from Bitcoin, like just from people using that currency to buy it.
Yeah,
man.
And it just sat there in an account that he forgot about, and so like he checked it, and now it's worth like $8 million.
What?
It's like,
that's Awesome. Whoops.
He like tried to play it off as like, yeah, everything I do is amazing. And he's like, actually, I kind of just forgot that existed. But hey, it's pretty cool.
What if he's laundering his money through Bitcoin? That he's getting
Accidentally laundering money through Bitcoin.
Whoops, I laundered my money.
Whoops, I accidentally riched. Yeah, so anyway, the point in that, like tying that into a video game story, now we can use that $8 million to fund a new 50 Cent game.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go.
I wouldn't mind playing the sequel to Blood in the Sand because I never got to play the original. So, like, something.
I think it's on like, what is it, GameCube, PS2 era?
Yeah, it was on the 360. I remember. Like it was just around.
So
like it
Xbox
launched around there.
PS3 era. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I never played that one, but I heard it was really good.
Yeah. Crap. Speaking of celebrities getting into video games, John Cena is getting into Duke Nukem. As in, he's gonna be like they've casted him as Duke Nukem in the upcoming video game adaptation movie.
Nailed it.
Yeah, what do you guys think about John Cena becoming Duke?
I mean, I think the fact that he is going to be playing Duke Nukem is a better idea than making a Duke Nukem movie. Like, I'm saying, if they're going to do it, which is a bad idea, he's the right person to pick to be him.
Yeah.
Just for Beat the Doom movie. So, no, don't even try.
Just let Duke die. just let him die. It's okay. No one wants Duke.
I prefer a Turok movie actually, because it could be like a like Predator meets Jurassic Park type thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. So if this movie ever comes out, which I always take video game movies with a grain of salt. I don't know if John Cena, like PG era, like the guy who defined the PG era of the WWE, is the guy you want for Duke.
He's gotten away from that though. Like in his movie career and stuff, he's gotten away from that.
Oh, what's the most hardcore movie he's made? Like he's been in?
Daddy's Home 2, probably.
Okay, Ferdinand.
Well, Ferdinand doesn't count. That's an animated kids movie. Like, come on. But he was also in like that.
He was in the Marine movies.
What was it? Sisters with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, I think. I believe I'm looking up John Cena's movie career.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like.
I think Don doesn't bring him up. Come on.
My problem with John Cena being Duke is just that he's too clean shaven. Like he's too clean cut. He's got that like that joyous like smile that he has. Like he's just too.
I'm sure they can dirty him up a little bit.
But he
could be a charming Duke.
Duke is not charming.
Yeah. Well, he could be what makes Duke more accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, Duke Nukem, cool, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just that Duke is like, he feels like he's 50 years older than he actually is. And he just like, he's sick and tired of all the bullshit that's going on in his life and that he has to do all this stuff. I don't see John Cena bringing that. Like maybe he has it in him, but I don't see it.
Who knows? Yeah.
Like
maybe
it would be fun to see John Cena try to pull it off. Like that's an interesting take. I would like to see that, but I don't think he has it in him.
All right, so just to confirm, Daddy's Home 2 is PG-13.
Okay.
The Sisters, like I said, which she's also in, is R-rated, and I just wanted to read one of his quotes from that movie because it's actually pretty great.
Okay.
I guess he's a drug dealer in it because it says we're looking to buy drugs. And then he says, what you want? I got ketamine, MDMA, Adderall, bromo dragonfly, heroin, coke, crack, codeine, oxys, perks, Vikes, PCP, LSD, something I don't know, mushrooms, bath salts, cortisone. I got Molly. I got her sister Sandra. I got Big Frank. I got birth control. I got Plan B. I got the morphine from China they took off the market. Shit to make your dick wet. Dick hard, sorry.
Wait, he actually says shit to make your dick wet?
Yeah, well, hard.
Oh my god.
I like what?
Did I say crack? Because I got some more of that too. I got some ibuprofen, aspirin. I got Flintstone gummies if you want.
All right, there we go.
It actually sounds like I kind of wanted to see that movie when it came out. But I missed it.
That
but
sounds
yeah,
funny.
so
It's pretty
he's he's a drug dealer in a movie, so he can be hard.
All right.
Point proven. Give that guy Duke Nukem.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna segue into. Remember when we talked about the Atari speaker hats?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are seminal work as a
I
business.
don't have 10 of those.
What if I told you PlayStation is making their own shoe line with Nike?
Do they Bluetooth connect to the speaker hats?
I don't think they have Bluetooth in them, but they do have, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they have LED lights in them.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Looks like it. Yep.
I'm just saying if they can't connect on speaker hats, I don't want them.
Everything needs to be Bluetooth now. This is old news.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Why
you're not
shouldn't they be
Bluetooth 4.1, get out of my
lights
life.
that only last for 150 hours. And shoe life, that's like a week. And the battery can't be replaced.
Boo.
Save those lights for a special occasion, I guess.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, like I actually like these shoes. Like I would wear them if they didn't have the freaking PlayStation logo on the tongues of them. Like,
Why?
I'd rock these.
That's the coolest part is the PlayStation logo.
I guess, but
You gotta let everyone know. You gotta
PC
represent.
Master Race.
I wouldn't even want a PC logo on the tongues. I would just want regular.
Just put a Valve
just
logo
the
on there.
standard.
A Steam logo on
Yeah,
one, Valve on the other.
I'll get these and then I'll mod them to.
I mean, it looks like a patch on the tongue, so you could probably, hand stitch it, like pull it off.
I see what you mean. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rock these. Yeah, sure. Why
it's
not?
doable.
I don't have a PlayStation.
I don't like the galaxy print around the bottom.
Yeah, that seems pretty
That
tacky.
Galaxy
Yeah.
print is,
like that barely makes it in for me. Like, it'd be like if there were any more than that, then I'd be like, no, screw these shoes. But that's I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rock.
Oh, actually, those logos are what glow, so they probably don't come off very easily.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Never tell them a PC Master
Yeah.
Race that you can't mod it.
I can mod anything.
Right?
Yeah, so yeah, PlayStation is coming out with sneakers with Nike, launching February 10th. So if you're a sneakerhead, you could go ahead and get yourself some PlayStation sneakers.
They are surprisingly affordable for limited edition sneakers.
Yeah,
Like that's a huge market.
Yeah, they're usually like thousands of dollars, aren't they?
Right. These are like 140 or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Lo, are you excited about Sonic?
I mean, it depends.
Are you excited about the Sonic co-creator going to Square Enix? No, don't care.
It depends.
So yeah, there's not really a whole lot of news here, but other than just like the original Sonic and I think Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles co-creator has joined Square Enix. There's not a whole lot other than just that announcement. So expect some Sonic in your Final Fantasy now.
I don't think that's how this works.
Great.
This is exactly how this works.
He's just the creator of Sonic. That doesn't mean he is Mr. Sonic.
So we're just gonna have more furries in Final Fantasy then, that's all.
Yeah.
Like sexy humanoid Moogles. I bet there's Moogle porn, actually.
Oh.
I'm not going to look that up, but I guarantee 34? It exists. Rule 34.
Oh my god, I can't believe I remember that. It's disgusting.
Yeah. The pom pom is on the crotch.
All right. And the last piece of news that I have, unless you want to guys correct me, is that Microsoft is going to bring all their first-party titles day and date with the Game Pass. So, for instance, I think the latest game that's going to come out is Sea of Thieves. It's going to launch, and then it's also going to launch same day on the Games Pass, which is pretty cool. Like, I think this is a pretty neat idea.
Yeah, this would be bigger if it was someone that actually has more than 1 or 2 first-party games a year. But it's still like it's an unprecedented thing. Like it's definitely worth talking about because it's kind of huge from a subscription service standpoint. Since Xbox already has a strong back catalog, and they do have some good first-party titles releasing this year, like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, which I'm super excited about actually.
Yeah.
And who knows what else they'll announce at E3. I'm sure they're going to have at least one other heavy hitter hitting this year, even if it's just Forza. But yeah, you figure if you just do this like once or twice a year, like let's say, you know, holiday time, you subscribe for 1 month, play a few games, like if you know, have a break over the holiday season or something, you play a few of the new games just for that month and then cancel it. You've basically, like, instead of paying, you know, possibly $120 or whatever for for games, you paid $10 to play all of them for a month and then quit.
Yeah.
Did you guys just... Never mind.
Low dropped out, and now he's back. But, yeah.
Okay, it showed you drop.
Back.
So that was weird, but...
But
yeah, like I think the problem is that their back catalog is still better than their new releases. So this is basically just like a really cool publicity stunt for them because it's saying, "Hey, we're consumer focused. We're going to give you these new games, you know, along with the old games for the same price." If like Nintendo did this, it would be huge, but they also wouldn't because they can afford to not. Xbox kind of needs to do this. Like they're not making a lot of money off of their first party games. Their sales haven't been great on any of them. So if you figure they can get more people on the subscription service that keep it, you know, month to month for, you know, years at a time, they're going to make more money on the off months where they're not releasing a game than they would if they sold each one piecemeal, you know, without providing the service. So to them, it's a numbers game. They can see bigger sales. They can see more revenue, like more steady revenue coming in month over month by providing this than by not. Similar to how Netflix does it. You know, they put a lot of money into original programming, but they know that they're going to keep people and bring in new people because of projects that they like. But I still think it's really cool. And I think it's going to open up the eyes of others, even if it is more of like a, you know, hey, let's fix our PlayStation Now thing so it's more like the Xbox program.
Yes.
Or Nintendo, you know, hey, let's actually make our virtual console, which I don't think they're going to call virtual console anyway. Let's make our, you know, classic games thing a streaming service. So it's like you're still not getting new games day and date like Xbox is doing, but they realize, hey, we need to make a service that's more like that, more like Netflix. To make it a better value proposition to people, because that's just guaranteed money for what we already have out there. So I think it's cooler from a changing the landscape point of view than it is from actually like the announcement of what they're doing. Although it's definitely going to help the sales of Sea of Thieves because that's an ongoing like multiplayer game. You do something like this, you get an instant huge fan base of people that wouldn't have tried it otherwise.
Yeah. Like Sea of Thieves, I wasn't really sure if I was gonna get it day one, but like since I already have Game Pass, like I'm gonna check it out, and I think that's probably gonna be the biggest thing for it is that if people just want to check out something that's new, they can just sign up for Games Pass for like a month. It's $10.
Yeah.
See what the new game is, and then also see what else is on there. Decide if it's worth it or not, or if they like the game or not, and then they can just cancel their service and get the game.
Yeah, I mean, I said on Discord that I kind of want an Xbox One now, just for this because like I don't play a lot of new games or anything. Yeah. If this is a chance to play like any game on the Xbox library for $10 a month, like I wouldn't have to worry about buying games for it. I would just do that and then play whatever is on there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even think about it. If sometimes I'll want to play something and I'll look through and I'm like, I don't own that. it's more expensive on Steam than I'd like to pay for it right now. Like, I'll just play an old game instead. Like, I'll go to my ROMs or something. If I had the whole library of Xbox games that are available, like, there'd be plenty of stuff to play when I just feel like playing something. So, like, I might just like go trade in my PS3 and a bunch of stuff and see if I can get an Xbox One S or something for $200, and then $10 a month for the Game Pass. Like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
yeah. I hope, like I said, like you
Kinda
said, I really do hope this like forces the other companies into improving their services, because I did sign up for that PlayStation Now and it was really cool, but like I had to stream the games, and I told you guys about my experience of streaming those games. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. So yeah, like I hope maybe PlayStation announces an improvement or something this year. That'd be really nice.
They got to compete. I mean, they don't have to. They're doing way better than Xbox, but they
don't
should
have to
want
do
to
anything.
compete.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my last news story. Is that all you guys got too?
Anthem.
Anthem.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's kind of like a really, that was like a non-news story. It was announced that it got pushed back to next year, but there wasn't really a set date for that anyways.
And EA hadn't confirmed it, but it's kind of worth noting that like it didn't really feel like that game was ever going to come out in 2018.
No.
Right.
And apparently there's been a lot of pushback from the investors, like, hey, we need this game to help our quarter.
Yeah.
But with how bad BioWare's been doing in public light, as far as like, not Metroid,
Andromeda,
Mass Effect, Andromeda and stuff, and like EA's been having bad press because of Battlefront and stuff like that. Like, they're putting all their eggs in this basket. And so I just think this is interesting from like a business standpoint, because it's like, if this game gets pushed to come out by a certain date and it sucks, like BioWare is gone. And it's not their fault, and that really sucks, because it's like investors who have no bearing on this except wanting to get their money back might kill this game, and then ironically not get their money back.
Yeah.
So like they really need to push this game back and let it just come out whenever it's ready. But that's not how the business works, unfortunately, and it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because I want this to be good.
Yes, it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, there's another Dragon Age in development, so that's cool.
Oh yes.
Yeah, if you like Dragon Age. It's all right.
I liked Dragon Age Inquisition. I didn't get into it like my brother did, but I liked it.
I like the first one. First one was all right. It's good.
It's too slow.
That's what I'm talking about. My heritage from those old school games.
I can't do it.
Yeah. So that's all the news stories for tonight. Justin, where can the people find you?
I am on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch as Zero Score. I started it weird and wasn't sure how to fix it. Sorry. But yeah, just look for Zero Score. You should find me, or maybe a Russian photographer, but that's not me. So look for the other one. On Twitter specifically. Someday I will get Zero Score without the underscore, but I refuse to say that because it sounds awkward. Anyway, yeah, I'm on Twitch again. I guess I did one stream. It's fine. I might do it more. But they have a new video producer program, so I've been putting the Final Fantasy IX story plays on there because I feel like that's kind of, a TV show. So this way I can premiere it on Saturday mornings and have like a live watch along type thing. People can talk in the comments along with the show as it airs. So I'm going to try to play around with that. So if you want to join us for that, if you are a fan of that series or want to start with it, all of the old episodes are on there. I'm going to be setting reruns for those on the Twitch channel throughout the day, throughout the weeks. And then each Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Time, we will be doing the live watch-alongs of the episode before it goes live on YouTube at 9 a.m. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, but I wanted to make that note.
Cool. Hello.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Near the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Near the Hero, spelled with letters. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter. I'm working on my main stream of content on my personal channel, known as The Lowdown. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. Stay up to date on that. Other than that, you can find me here every week with these fine gentlemen. Charge shot for life, baby.
It's for life, eh?
Life.
It's like NWO for life. Yeah, so I'm your host, Thomas. You can find me on Twitter at CSG Thomas. You can also check us all out here at chartshot.com, and you can email me, thomas@chartshot.com. Until then, guys, enjoy your games. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Oh.
Yes, you specifically.
Oh.
Wink.